But guess what, beloveds? There's been another arrest over those threats. Now, I find it also interesting that they can't hurry up and wrap up this investigation. They haven't locked up not one soul when there's plenty of probable cause for them to have done so, if you ask me. But nonetheless, they have arrested no one but second arrest. Okay, as it pertains to threats. Now, I want you to pay attention because what that says to me is that they are blatantly playing in our faces. Are they trying to tick us off? Yeah, of course they are. They're trying to say to us, we don't give a darn about Nolan. We don't give a darn about y'all being upset about it. You're not going to get justice. We run this, okay? If you ever get any justice, it won't be from us because Mississippi does what Mississippi does, okay? That's what it's saying to me. I don't know about you, but so they have a second arrest for threats, okay, against the so-called villains in this story. Now, that doesn't mean they did anything. It just means they're nefarious, in my opinion. But this time, it's a Black woman. Lord, help us all. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. I don't believe it. Okay, this lady must have mental health issues. If she actually did this, she has to have mental health issues. Because we all know that Black folk don't be out here threatening folks, specifically bomb threats. A whole federal charge. That's what they say. Woman accused of making bomb threats to government offices after Nolan Wells' death. Now, how do they attach that to Nolan's death? Okay, bomb threats to government offices. But anyway, let's get into it. So, an Ohio woman faces a federal charge after authorities say that she made dozens of bomb threats and calls to Mississippi government offices last month following the death of Nolan Wells. Now, Michelle Francine Edwards was charged on Thursday in the United States District Court for the Southern District of Mississippi, Southern Division, with one count of transmitting a threatening communication in interstate commerce. Now, according to the complaint, Edwards made 2 sets of calls on July the 23rd using a blocked number. Authorities said between 1:34 p.m. and 1:42 p.m. that day, the George County Chancery Clerk's office received 21 calls from a blocked number, with the caller stating such phrases as, "Do not go outside. The clock is ticking," and "die." Ah, she's got to have mental health issues if this is even true. And I don't know that it is. What do you all have to say about all of this? Black people making bomb threats? Do y'all believe any of it, beloveds? What do y'all think? Okay, this all sounds like made up BS. It's make a Black woman at that. I definitely don't believe any of it. Like I said, unless she has mental health issues. Now, it goes on to say investigators added that between 2:06 p.m. and 2:24 p.m., the Jackson County Sheriff's Office dispatch also received 8 calls placed using star 67 to mask the caller's identity. Now, that caller reportedly said, "Y'all got a bomb outside. Don't come outside, bitch." That's what it says. Y'all got a bomb out. Y'all got a bomb outside. Don't come outside, bitch. Y'all still in there? According to authorities, the threats triggered a building lockdown and a bomb sweep with K9 units. Investigators submitted an emergency disclosure request to C Spire and Verizon, which identified the number that was used. She probably loaned her phone to some white man, honey. You probably told her, "I need to hold your phone for a second." Wouldn't make those calls. Okay, how much would have bet? Because I don't believe it. Okay, I don't believe it. Let me continue. So anyway, it goes on to say open source searches on Cash App linked the number to accounts associated with the name Michelle Edwards, according to investigators. Cincinnati Police Department records also listed Edwards as the owner of the number. Y'all know I'm just joking. I'm not saying a white man did this. I was trying to be funny. But if she did this, why? Girl, what is that going to do? I mean, they could be lying. Like I said, I'm going to need to see some hardcore proof because it just sounds ridiculous. So anyway, authorities said cell tower data from the night of the incident showed the device associated with the number had bedded down near Edwards' known addresses in Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, Edwards' charge carries the maximum penalty of 5 years in prison, a $250,000 fine, and 3 years of supervised release. Now, the death of Wells from the 4th of July weekend has garnered national attention, with people questioning the investigation and what happened on the day of his disappearance. Let me tell you all something. Here's the thing. Now, they have still not stated how this has anything to do with Nolan's death. Because if she's making phone calls to government buildings, that's not to some specific person. That's right. Bungani said that sounds like distractions. Exactly. And it is very nonsensical. Beloved, you're absolutely right. I don't believe it. Now, let me show you all this latest picture. I mean, she does kind of look like a thuggish, ruggish bone a little bit, but she doesn't look like she'd be making bomb threats. That's what she doesn't look like. Okay, I'm not going for that. I'm not even going for it. There she is right there. What y'all think? And Lorraine, beloved, thank you for your contribution to the channel and your kind words. I appreciate you too, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, so that's who it is. I don't know. Listen, they're making mountains out of molehills as far as I'm concerned. I really don't like the fact that they're not even acknowledging the fact that Nolan's parents are getting threats, okay, death threats, that people are harassing them, that people are trying to get this lady fired from her job. They're not even saying anything about any of that. Okay, so clearly they don't care. And the FBI came down there not to help with the investigation into the death of Nolan, but to help with threats. Okay, these people just let us know they don't give a darn about black folk, but some of our people love them. They love the mega millions. Okay, that's what they do. Anyway, let's continue. Let's talk about Officer Tap Dancing Buck Broken Tatum. Okay, let's talk about him. I want to bring up that toxicology report one more again with his nefarious self, because I'm still trying to figure out how he could be so certain. Let's get into it. And then I have something to counter what he says. Let me get my favorite overlay for the occasion. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Person said it was 150%. Again, taking into consideration, this is somebody telling me this. I'm not saying it's me. I'm not saying it. I'm not able to verify it. But from the sources that I'm getting it from has been.
Here's the thing. If he is not able to verify it, then why would you say it? Why would you say it? At the end of the day, this young man is dead. Okay, why would you say that about anyone that's dead, no matter their race or whatever? If you can't verify it, demonizing and vilifying the victim. Isn't that something? But hey, what else do we expect this fool to do? But just the other day, he was talking about he wanted to speak to Ben Crump so they could try to bring the community together. First of all, and then he said it there on somebody's show. I can't remember whose it was. And he said, if Ben Crump really wanted justice, well, how come he didn't return those calls? How come he didn't? I think he was on his own show when he was saying that. He was like, how come he didn't return our calls? And how come he didn't want to talk? He didn't want to talk to us. First of all, why in the hell would that man want to talk to you? Okay, what does a civil rights activist or a civil rights attorney look like talking to a shucking and driving, tiptoeing around the tulips, tap dancing raccoon? Why would they do it? And then not to mention all the disparaging and disrespectful things that he said, calling the man a race hustler and all of this stuff, said he's stoking the racial divide, which is exactly what he himself is doing. Wouldn't talk to him either. There's nothing he could tell me. I wouldn't want to hear any of it because all he does is lie and paint false narratives and side with the wrong folk. Okay, and then acts like everything they say is just glittering like gold, as if he just knows for facts it's true. But then when a black person says something to the contrary, he automatically gets on the defense and acts as though they're lying. Okay, but Warren wasn't lying. Now, I know he can't be that stupid, even though he looks that stupid, but he used to be a cop, so he doesn't know anything about interrogation. Of course he does, and that's exactly why he was leading Warren, okay, through most of the interview.
Consistent, verifiable sources thus far, and hadn't been wrong about nothing. So there's a possibility that there's a person that Nolan may have been around or interacted with that is giving the people on this island that Nolan may have taken a coach. And then also, I received a DM from someone DMing another person. Now I'm trying to leave these names out because I want to not mess this investigation up. I think law enforcement already have this. That
Hold on. I'm calling Cap. He's leaving the names out because he doesn't want to mess up the investigation. No, he's leaving the names out because either nobody told him this stuff and he's helping to just paint the narrative by himself. Okay, because what he's doing right here by talking about what's going to be in Nolan's system is he's setting the stage for them to come back with a toxicology report and say that there was something in his system. Okay, and if it is, guess what? Nolan didn't do it, somebody else did, period. Or somebody's father could have messed up or altered the toxicology reports. Because somebody's father has a subspecialty in toxicology medicine. Please pay attention. Okay, low down dirty. Anyway, let's continue.